Hello and welcome to Solasta, Crown of the Magister. This video is kindly sponsored, and if you'd like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. Now, this is based on the SRD 5.1 Dungeons & Dragons rule set, and they've been given official license by Wizards of the Coast to be able to do this, and I gotta say, this is probably one of the best Dungeons & Dragons based systems in a game that I've ever seen. And I've played a lot of other games based on Dungeons & Dragons, and this one seems to be, I'm gonna say, probably my favorite, which is saying something. I've played a lot of them. Anyway, you can create your own characters. You can choose your pre-generated characters if you so desire. I'm just gonna go through creating a character of our very own very quickly here. As you can see, I've already made 3. There are 4 characters that can potentially join your band, and they all have different ways of being created. They all have different dialogue options, and this determines how your adventure plays out. And you can also see here there's actually a dungeon maker too, which actually allows you to play new adventures created by the community, if you can imagine that. So there is almost unlimited playability in this game, and we're going to take a look at it. The newly released Sorcerer update has just been updated, and basically that offers the Sorcerer class, which is a whole new class, and that is exactly the new character that we're going to be creating now. And the Sorcerer class offers 3 new subclasses as well. So if you thought you were getting just, well, 1 new class, well, technically yes, you're getting a new base class, but you're also getting 3 additional subclasses, which is taking it even further, which is just crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a somewhat boring human. Yes, I have the rest, basically. So I have a marsh halfling, I have a high elf, and I have a half elf. I don't really think a dwarf is going to suit being a sorcerer, so I'm going to go for the human here. And we're going to create a male human. There's the sorcerer. There it is. And you can also edit the equipment if you want to as well. So you can go here and you can edit the equipment to whatever you want it to be. Everything is dice-based in this game as well, by the way. But I have found that the dice-based mechanics are very fair in comparison to a number of other games, which I shall not mention, because they generally tend to, so some of them at least, do tend to be quite unfair. If you get like a, I don't know, 95% chance to hit, and then all of a sudden, oh, you missed. Yeah, that's not what really happens here. But there is always that chance, you know, critical failure is a thing. Anyway, I'm not going to be editing any of the equipment right here because I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing a decent enough job here of giving me what I kind of need to start off. And yeah, because I have not created a sorcerer before, they're giving us the small tutorial about class archetypes. Archetypes have different names depending on their class. Arcane tradition for wizards, martial archetypes for fighters, clerics select their divine domain at level 1, and each archetype offers a set of features and abilities which grant a unique flavor to the character and can radically change its playstyle. So you can see here you could create a variety of different ones. So you have the draconic bloodline, which sounds very fun. That sounds super cool to me. Then we have the mana painter. I have no idea what that means. They learn to channel scarce mana to cast spells, create potions or scrolls, whereas their enemies call them mana stealers. They are truly artists of magic. And then we have a Child of the Rift. The very nature of the Rift also changed them deeply, as they are not only flesh and blood, but also mana, light, and shadow. Well, I'm going to be going for the Draconic bloodline because I personally feel like that sounds super fun. And we also speak Draconic then, so we can actually communicate with dragons, I assume. So we also have Black Ancestor Acid, Gold Ancestor Fire, Green Ancestor Poison, and Silver Ancestor Gold, and this determines your affinity to a specific damage type. So I'm going to go for the Green Ancestor because I personally like using poison quite a bit in these kinds of games. So I'm going to be going for that. And here we go. Now this chooses basically our background and what we kind of want to play this character like. I already have an aristocrat, I already have an academic, and I already have a lowlife. So what are we going to be? Well, we could do acolyte, we could be philosopher. I think philosopher seems pretty good actually. So you can see down here that this will determine what you speak like. So for example, this character uses complete sentences with technical or academic vocabulary, and this character speaks like most folk do, neither overly formal or overly colloquial. So basically that is very much amazing to me, because that really indentures you to grow to like your characters a huge amount, because you have customized them however you want. So we're going to be going for pragmatism here and altruism, I suppose, and we're going to be doing the same thing here. And do I have enough, actually? Formal personality score? I have no idea whether I've got enough, but we're going to just go ahead with that. And now, oh no, my available scores are pretty awful. Okay, yeah, these scores are pretty bad. I have had 18 rolls before, so let's actually re-roll. There we go. That's much better. Thank you very much with that. We're going to be going for charisma, constitution, and dexterity. So we're going to be going for this. Constitution, dexterity, there we go, and then the remaining, I don't really care, to be honest, what the rest is, but I think we'll probably go for something like that. That seems okay to me. And then we'll head onward to proficiencies. So this is where you get to select what kind of skills you're going to have, and this is going to determine what kind of things you can do in conversations. For example, intimidation or deception. So your charisma check determines whether you can convincingly hide the truth, either verbally or through your actions. But I'm going to be speccing in Arcana here, because Arcana, let's face it, we're kind of a spellcaster, so it kind of makes sense. I'm going to go for deception otherwise. And what else do we have here? We have a herbalism kit, and we also have a rosary right there, because we have tools. And you can also speak different languages as well. Now, because I already have a half-elf, a high-elf, and a halfling, I don't really need Elvish or halfling languages, although those characters also have the ability to speak other things. But we're going to be going for Dwarvish, and I think Old Temerian. I think I already have that, but we're going to... Can I not select that? Yeah, I can select that. Background languages we need to select now. So let's go with Giant. That sounds fun. Why not? And let's move on. Okay, so now we get to select cantrips. So cantrips are basically things that do not use your spell slots. So if generally if you know anything about D&D, you have the ability to use spells, but you can only use those on a very limited fashion. So if you have, I don't know, 6 spells or something like that, you can really only use, I think, 2 of those in between long rests. But don't quote me on that, because this game might do it a little bit differently, but we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, I'm going to be going for Shadow Dagger here, Poison Spray, Acid Splash. They sound pretty fun. And we'll go for Chill Touch, because that also removes the ability for enemies to heal themselves, which I very much appreciate. And then we have spells that we can actually use, which are going to be utilizing those spell slots, like I said. So we could do Detect Magic to detect nearby magic objects or creatures. Yeah, I think we'll do that. And we also have the ability to comprehend languages. You understand the literal meaning of any spoken words that you hear. That might sound fun, so let's do that. There we go. Bear in mind that cantrips actually do not change your spell slots at all. You can use them infinitely. They're pretty free, so that's quite nice. I think this beard needs to change, actually, so let's do that. I think his hair actually needs to change a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Is it a little better? Not really. Okay, yeah, we'll just go with that. That seems pretty decent. You can also choose his voice as well.
Are you okay?
I'm seeing a hidden door.
Hold it.
What?
Ooh, that must have hurt.
I'm seeing a trap.
Okay, we'll go with something like that, I guess. You can also input your own backstory. So, for example, if I wanted to say, who is this going to be? Bruce, I guess? Bruce was a wonderfully skilled individual in the art of almost getting killed. There we go. 10 out of 10. No, we won't do that. There we go. But you know what I mean. You could basically create whatever kind of backstory that you want and go on from there, which I very much appreciate. Okay, so is there anything else that I need to do here? Oh, I must input a name, of course. Yes. Okay, so he's going to be Bruce Beartild. That's generally what we're doing. We're going with the three Beartilds and Iceni, who is another character from one of my most known series. So we're just going to be going for that. We're going to make him a little bit older as well. And then we'll just finish the character creation process. And there you go. So we've created a sorcerer, a wizard, a fighter, and a rogue. Barney is an evil rogue who only cares about greed as well, by the way. So there's also that. Anyway, let's create a new adventure. So you have a wide variety of different difficulties here. If you just want to play story mode, if you just want to focus on the story, go ahead. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I think if you enjoy the game, playing it like that, then go for it. For players unfamiliar with tactical RPGs or the rule set, then play on Explorer mode. And for players who want the authentic tabletop rule set, you just play on authentic mode, and then you have, well, Cataclysm mode, where you will suffer very much. But we will not be doing that right now. Okay, so let's go for personal here. Let's choose Barney. Let's choose Byron, Bruce, and Iseni. There we go. That seems pretty good to me. Let's start the game. And we need to change the... Do I need to change the brightness at all? Can you see all this? I don't know. I'm just going to raise it up a little bit because YouTube does tend to darken things.
Before the Cataclysm, there were no gods on Solasta. No humans either. Then, the rift opened. Some say it was a magical accident, or the work of an evil god. No one knows for sure. The Cataclysm destroyed the old High Elf Empire. Manicalan, they called it, and twisted the land beyond recognition. Now, only the brave and the foolish go there, in search of ancient treasures. But something is happening deep in those Badlands. Whatever it is, it can't be good.
It is the year 1024. After the Cataclysm, new states have arisen around the Badlands and crave its treasures. A newly discovered road offers a safer route into the ruined heart of the Empire from the Principality of Masgarth, upsetting the balance of power. The Legacy Council is formed to ensure that this knowledge is shared. It issues a call for agents to explore the Badlands in its name. Adventurers flock to Caer Kiflen, the Principality's capital and the home of the Council. 4 strangers meet in the Gravekeep's Cask, close to the Council chambers.
This beer tastes like donkey piss. Not that I'm complaining.
Is this the place for the Legacy Council job? Hope I'm not too late.
Ran into a bit of trouble on the way here.
Sit, relax. Perhaps you'd enjoy a pint of this obnoxious ale.
If you're here for the council job, get in line. Though if this Lord Karen doesn't show up soon, I might go looking for him.
Another round, barkeep. 4 of your finest flagons of donkey piss, please.
I see you're all making the best of this.
Indeed. You mentioned something about some trouble. Would you care to elaborate?
I was proceeding down the highway, minding my own business, when 3 brigands burst from the bushes and waylaid me. They carried me off to some ramshackle prison, an imperial ruin of some sort. Fortunately, the walls were as weak as this indifferent ale we're drinking.
And now this gives us an opportunity to try out some of the game's systems. And I have to say that every single system that I have gone through so far in Solasta is extremely smooth and polished. I feel like the movement system is fantastic. I am unfortunately getting tutorials at the moment. I've already gone through the tutorial once and I kind of understand how things work. And you're going to very easily be able to pick up this kind of stuff as well, because generally it's very self-explanatory. Everything is dice roll based, and you can also activate your inventory. You can see what you're holding in each slot here. You have a wide variety of different equipment slots here. So you have your boots, your rings, belt, cloak, all that sort of thing. Then you can have a look at your character and what they're actually doing. You can have a look at your feats, for example. You can have a look at your skills, saving throws, and all that stuff. Then you can even do some crafting if you want, and you also have wizard spells available here too. So there's a wide variety of different information at your disposal, and you also have the journal here. So generally the journal is a really good way to find out what you need to do next. So for example, if you're ever stuck, you should probably take a look at the journal, because it's going to give you a little hint. So the bandits left you in a ruined cell. There must be a weak wall or a hole somewhere in one of the other cells, and that is obviously going to enable us to escape potentially. And then you obviously have the adventure log right here. This basically tells you an overview of what has just happened. Then you have the bestiary, where you of course have a log of all the creatures that you encountered, and you can also take a look at all the factions that are currently in the game, and they all have a different relation with you. So as you can see, the faction will show you favor, joins you in battle. And this one is the same thing, where they will join you in battle. Unfortunately, these ones do not. They don't care about me at all, so they won't join me, but they also won't attack me. And then you have the tutorial here, where there's a wide variety of different things. You can also go to the forums, and there's going to be a wiki coming soon as well. So there's a great deal of information out there if you want to find it. And you can see here that we can climb, or shall we say crawl, through this little hole here in the wall. And there's also a number of objects that we can encounter and interact with. And by the way, the verticality is something that I need to mention too, because verticality is something that is very important in D&D, and it is just as important in Solasta. And you will see exactly what I mean about that. Okay, so we're going to just push this little rock out of the way right here. I'm surprised she could do that with her shoulder. That would be, it's going to be very, very harsh, very, very painful. And we're just going to crawl through here, and we're going to get up on this little area here. Now, bear in mind that this kind of adventuring is going to require a little bit of athletic skills. So bear in mind, as you can see right here, I'm actually just going to read this through with you, because this is quite important. So to jump or climb, simply click on the destination. However, depending on the character's strength and proficiency with athletics, you can jump and climb between 2 and 5 cells. You can always jump over 2 cells, drop down 3 cells, and climb up 1 cell, or climb up easy surfaces like ladders or ropes without any trouble. So, for example, above, a character with strength below 15 and no proficiency in athletics cannot jump far enough to reach the chest. However, a fighter with strength 15 to 20 can jump across 3 cells, so can a character with strength 11 to 14 plus proficiency in athletics. In general, the critical path is always open to characters without superior physical abilities. However, optional loot is sometimes harder to reach. Don't give up though, you may find another way to get this chest. So for example, if I try to jump, not going to work. You see? I can't do that. I can't jump over here. However, I might be able to jump over from here. I'm not entirely sure. No. Can't jump over there either, but there is going to be an alternate path, so hopefully we're going to be able to get that chest in just a second. No doubt there's going to be a way for me to do that. But look at this. Environmentals as well. There are huge amounts of interactive environmentals that you're going to be able to utilize in the game world, and this is one of them. So I just created a bridge, and now I can hopefully move this out of the way, as you can see right there, and then I'm going to be able to loot this container. So even if I didn't have athletics, which obviously I don't at this point, I can still get the chest. And we have a potion of healing, which I will then indeed take. Thank you very much for that. So now let's move on, go through here, and then we're going to get rid of the bandits. So there are actually some bandits down here, as you can see, and we're just going to push the wall. And they're all dead. Environmental kills for the win. Oh, yes. And now we can retrieve our equipment. And yes, looting equipment, very, very self-explanatory right there. And we're just going to be looting that. As you can see, she's put on all of her gear. And I'm just going to be taking the remaining little stuff here. So we have arrows, and we have a spell book with all of our spells that we've learned in it and all that stuff. And there's also encumbrance in the game as well. So if you loot too much stuff, then, well, you're going to have a pretty hard time running around and everything. So, there you go.
So you escaped unscathed. Well done, my friend.
My flagon is empty of ale, and Lord Karen still isn't here.
Have another ale. It's not like you have anywhere better to be.
Well, let me tell you my story then. I too was accosted on my way here, but I faced my foes head on.
Let's hear it then. Don't be shy.
Alright, Alright, so here we go. Here's a demonstration of the combat mechanics. I love this. Okay, so look at this. We roll this, boom, done. It tells you immediately how much initiative you have and how much initiative the opponent has. I really like that. I really do. It is very, very transparent, and it gives you a great idea as to what is actually happening on the immediate, basically. Right there. It just tells you exactly what's happening. So look at this. I just rolled, boom, done, did 11 damage. We hit him, no problem at all. And now I can end my turn if I want to, or we can do a variety of other things. Bear in mind, environmental kills such as shoving and pushing enemies off of things, that also is a thing in this game. So for example, if I wanted to, I could get into a particular position here and I would be able to push one of these wolves off the cliff. So for example, if you shove an enemy backwards into a pit, they'll fall. If you shove an enemy down, they will be prone, remaining vulnerable until they spend move points to stand up. So there's a huge amount to do here. So for example, if I wanted to shove maybe this one, boom, there he goes, done. Now I don't have to deal with that wolf any further. Unfortunately, it is going to take up one of your main action points, so I cannot attack after that. But obviously we've already eliminated someone, so that's absolutely fine. As you can see, this wolf is attempting to bite us, but thankfully, because it is only rolling a 9 at the moment, it is not enough to actually hit. So here we go. We also have dodge. Dodge is also a thing, so if you press dodge and then proceed with that, you're going to immediately dodge pretty much every attack. And you can avoid the, what is it now? The attack of opportunity. That's it. The attack of opportunity. So you can avoid that as well. So if you want to disengage from a particular fight, you can also do that too. So disengage is basically about getting away from your opponent. So if I wanted to shove this guy right here, so let's just push away, boom. There you go. So if I didn't want to use my sword, for example, then I can just do it that way. So now, seamless transition. Did you notice that? You thought that was just a combat phase? No. Look at that. We're now actually in the game world. I mean, wait, we're still in the game world, but we're in the game world where we can actually move around straight away after the combat has finished. Which I absolutely love. I love that because there's no load screen. There's no obvious transition from combat into exploration or anything like that. It really makes a huge difference. So yeah, now we're going to get ambushed a little bit by this wolf right here. So to avoid an opportunity attack, you can use the disengage action, which is going to be right here. We're going to just roll for our initiative. The wolf literally rolled 1, which is absolutely awful, but we're just going to use disengage right here, and then we're going to go up there and push the rock. And this is, of course, going to do something rather nice.
What a bunch of namby-pambies. You're lucky you weren't attacked by Sorcerer.
I don't remember anyone asking your opinion.
The Badlands are thick with them, shape-shifting bastards.
Go easy on him. He's just a harmless old drunk. Probably saw lizard folk or dragonborn or something.
You think I don't know the difference? All those spines on their backs, those jaws. You've never seen anything like it. Not lizard folk, not troglodyte, not dragonborn, I'm telling you.
No one believes in Sorax anymore. Except the Church of Anar, of course. There's a Sorak under every bed if you believe them.
Ah, easy now. Don't mock people for their faith.
Read them books. Sorax are masters of deception, infiltration. Anyone here could be a Sorak. You'd never know.
Ah, come on.
Huh, you'll see.
So, anyway,
Sorax might be legend, but orcs are quite real, and not just in the Badlands. I stumbled across a secret settlement right here in the Principality.
That is preposterous.
I traveled here from the east and left the main highway, hoping to save time by traversing the hills. The views were magnificent, and I should have kept my eye on the path, because it gave way beneath my feet, plunging me into Stygian darkness. Ow! That's gonna leave a mark.
And that is also something that you have to bear in mind. There are very realistic lighting sources in this game. So, for example, if you don't have a torch and you are in complete darkness, you won't be able to see. At least, as far as I'm aware, that is the case. Because if you have dark vision, if you have a character with dark vision, then you're going to be fine. Or if you have a character that can use fire spells or something, you might be able to light a torch on the wall, or a sconce, or a brazier, or something along those lines. But generally, yes, you are not really going to have much luck. So if you don't have anything like that, then that's going to be a bit problematic. But thankfully, as you can see, we actually have a torch. So let's put that in our other hand right here. And as you can see, I've taken one out. So we can now light the 2 torches. Well, where's that? There's one. There we go. There's one, and there's the other one. Done. And now we can examine the totem. Oh, yes, let's examine that. Yes, I must complete the quest objective before opening the door. Yes, thank you. Okay. Oh, I failed the roll on the history.
Peculiar style of art. Clearly the work of some savage hand.
No, I can't believe I failed that. Oh well, never mind, never mind. I mean, it is all roll of the dice, but it would have given us something quite interesting to listen to right there. But, yeah, unfortunate. Okay, so we're just going to get rid of this torch now. And we're just going to move forward. Because we can quite adequately see at the moment. So if your character can cast healing spells, press the cast spell and select a spell in order to recover lost hit points. You can also use a potion. Okay, yeah. That's absolutely fine. So do I actually have full HP? No, I only have 3 HP right now. That is pretty awful. So let's cast this. And where's healing? I don't have any healing right now, do I? No, I literally have none. That is absolutely awful, isn't it? Okay, yeah, that is absolutely awful. So I guess I will just drink this potion. There we go. That's the only one I had, so hopefully I'm not going to take too much damage. Okay, so let's continue to explore further.
There they are. Discretion is clearly the better part of valor in this instance.
Activating cautious mode makes you slower, but it grants 2 benefits. Hidden objects and traps are easier to find, but you're harder for enemies to spot. When an enemy starts to notice your presence, a gauge appears above their head and gives you time to react. Remain 3 cells above the enemy in this mode and you can't be detected, so that's fantastic. So, yeah, we obviously want to go into cautious mode right there, which is obviously, well, pretty obvious that we're in cautious mode right now, which is really nice. And let's see if I can get over there without having a problem. Sneak past the orcs. Let's do it. Sneaky, sneaky now. Something tells me it shouldn't have been the sorcerer down here. It should have been the rogue or something. There we go. I have a problem now because I'm thinking they're going to detect me no matter what, and then I'm going to have to fight them or something. But maybe not. I might be alright. Okay, let's let me loot this container real quick. Ooh, thank you very much. Yes, I don't mind if I do. Okay, now let's take a look at the journal actually, because I'm thinking I need to take a look at where we need to go, to be honest. So let's do that. If you remain on higher ground, find out how to open the door. Didn't I just open the door? I think I did, right? Yeah, but it's not this way. Oh, it's over here. Ah, I'm an imbecile. There we go, there we go. Fantastic. Very good. I am a very, should we say, stupid sorcerer. Okay. Well, we're gonna cross the river now. Oh, he's pretty good at leaping, isn't he? Fantastic. Okay, I'm being very, very careful right now. I'm staying in cautious mode because I really don't know what is up ahead, so I'd very much like to try and be very, very careful. There might be some traps, we never know. Okay, wait a minute, what's down here? What's that? Oh, it's a resting area. Ah, fantastic.
No other means of egress is apparent. Fine. I shall wait until they go. These creatures do hunt, right?
Ah, there we go. Yeah, so taking a long rest, if you've ever played any kind of D&D based game, then you obviously know that long rest is pretty much the best thing you can do if your entire party is really, really hard done by and they need some HP back. And also spell power and all that wonderful stuff. So, yeah, 1 ration of food per party member is also required for this. Many spellcasters know more spells than they can recall at a given time. Prepared spells represent those a character can use by spending spell slots. Check your hero's list of known spells and choose which ones you want to prepare. Spells that are not prepared cannot be cast. That's very important. There we go. Alright, when the rest is complete, recover all hit points and half your hit dice maximum. Upon rest completion, you blah blah blah. Yes, exactly. Okay, so let's do that. There we go. We're now full HP, and now we can leave the cave. And there is the exit. I have a bad feeling about this.
Not sure I would have slept so close to a horde of orcs.
Orcs have a very distinctive stink.
I'm beginning to think Lord Charon might be a mythical creature.
We've all told a tale of our travels here. All but one of us.
Yes, but I have a good reason for that. It's none of your damn business.
We can't take up arms together if we don't trust each other.
Fine. You want to know the truth? I stopped on the way here to visit an old friend of mine, and discovered he was up to his eyeballs in debt with a loan shark.
So, he was in dire straits.
Indeed. He put up a family heirloom as collateral, and wanted me to reacquire it, because, you see, I can be quite stealthy when necessary.
Well, as he should be, as a rogue, eh? Yes, okay, so let's have a look. What do we need to do? Enter the fort. Alright, let's go then, shall we? Use cautious mode to move stealthily. Enemies can hear you if they cross your noise circle, and they will spot you as soon as you leave cautious mode. Your noise circle depends on your armor type and your stealth score, so it's a good idea to avoid moving into an enemy's field of view while carrying a light source. Remain in cautious mode for the whole duration of this mission. You must make a stealth check if you attempt an object interaction while within hearing range of an enemy, such as opening a door or a chest, or even pickpocketing, and you will remain undetected only if you succeed. Cautious mode also allows you to find and follow tracks. Cautious mode engaged. Tracks have been spotted. Okay, yes, I know how to use the camera, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, let's loot this. What is in here? Thieves' tools. Aha. Very, very good.
Always thoughtful.
Yes, we need that. We need that, certainly. Okay, I'm following the tracks right now, but I don't think I really need to be honest. Aha, hello. There's a guard right there. Careful. Careful. Reach the next courtyard. Okay, well, this might be a bit problematic. I think we should be okay. Seems like it's basically just a straight... pretty much just a straight line. To try picking a lock, mouse over a locked door and left click. If you select your whole party, the most skilled character is automatically chosen for the task. You must have thieves' tools in your inventory to try picking a lock. Being proficient with thieves' tools will help. Well, what if you're not proficient? What if you're just an imbecile like me? Aha! Then I might have some issues. Oh, wow, he did it. Oh, wow, that was crazy. That was a really high roll. I like that. I feel like it really captures the tension that you get when you're playing a D&D game. And a campaign. And or, you know. So let's just continue to move stealthily. Wait a minute. No, no, no. Careful. Bandit Quartermaster. What? It's an enemy creature, apparently. Okay, well, we probably don't want to go that way then, do we? Let's go around them then. That door is not accessible. Yeah, these guys, we can just avoid these fellows. Oh, so nice. Wow. Okay, find the treasure room. Wow, well, what is this? This is interactable. Loot this container? What is it? It's just a bush of sorts. A flower bush. Ah, angry violet. I have no idea what that is all about, but maybe it's for some kind of crafting. I'm thinking we need to go up here. Maybe we can climb on the vines or something like that. So, what is it? Find the treasure room. Well, how do I find that from here, friends? Aha. There we go. Yes, that's exactly what I thought. You can actually climb up here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is, haha, yes, here we go. There's a trap. Click to try and disarm the trap. Well, this is going to be problematic. We might be able to do it. To disarm a trap, you must first detect it. If you try to open or lockpick a chest with a trap they haven't detected, you only find out about the trap when you trigger it. To try disarming a trap, mouse over it and left click, you need to make a successful dexterity check. Thankfully, my dexterity is really good with Barney. I made sure to give him a huge amount of dexterity and generally a bunch of other roguish skills. So, yeah. Let's try it. Oh, he did that. Yeah, that was nice. There we go. Okay, so let's try and open up the door. I think he should do this perfectly fine. I mean, it is the tutorial of sorts, so we should theoretically be okay. Okay, let's disarm the trap. Come on, you can do it. Oh, no! I took some poison damage. Okay, I took some poison damage. I'm gonna go back in cautious mode. And what do we have here? Liam's heirloom. That's the quest item. And 15 gold. Thank you. Escape from the fort. Let's do it. Okay, how do I escape though? That's the point. Oh, we just exit.
You filthy crook!
You? What? You're drunk. Get out of here before I kill you.
Think you scare me? Not anymore.
A grave mistake.
Liam, what are you doing here?
Ah, so sometimes in the course of your adventure, some non-player characters may become critical. This means if you let them die, the game is over. If you attack an enemy while undetected, you gain the advantage of surprise. That means you have advantage on your roll to hit, and your opponent cannot react before the next turn. If you are a rogue, your attack will be a sneak attack, dealing additional damage. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. I can attack him from here, I think. Can I? I can't? No? Am I really out of range just ever so slightly? I might be able to if I just walk down here. There we go. Now I can potentially attack? Yes, I can. Ooh, that was a... Wow. That was really nice. And I just got an achievement called, How do you want to do this?
Are you four here to see Lord Karen?
And here we go. Now we can select an answer, because this is obviously a conversation. We can select our dialogue choice. Okay, so Bruce can say, who's asking? Barney can say, we're not here to get drunk. And Byron says, well, maybe we're here looking for a fight. Well, I'm going to say, who's asking?
Depends on who's asking.
Well, if you're here for Lord Karen of the Legacy Council, that would be me.
So you're real then?
So you're not a mythical creature after all?
Unlike, say, a sober adventurer?
Might we ask a bit more about this quest of yours, sir, if you please?
Well, I suppose it's better if you know what you're doing. What do you want to know?
Well, Actually, I don't particularly care. As long as he pays, right? As long as he pays? Okay, are you our employer?
Are we going to work for you?
Not exactly, no. I'll be your contact with the Legacy Council, which you will serve as deputies. That's why we need to go there and get you sworn in.
Oh, well, very good then. I'm happy with that.
We should go, don't you think?
Very well. Come, gather your things. You're late for your swearing in.
Hurry up and wait. The story of my life.
And here we go. All right, so now we can find our way around and we can basically go wherever we want. So once you've been there, you have access to the fast travel function, you know, once we've found the Legacy Council. But for now, you have to walk a little. Go north and walk up the stairs to Sunblaze Court, then take the stairs west to the council. So you could basically walk around with your entire party if you so desire, which is, in my opinion, very cool. The ability to walk around the game world and not just have it be these, shall we say, self-contained levels, and for them to give you the freedom to walk around, I feel like that just increases your immersion, increases the atmosphere of the game world itself, and makes you bond just that much more with it. Anyway, so what do we need to do? Head north, take the stairs. All right, north is this way. And here is the staircase, I believe. And then head... Where? Then take the stairs west to the embassies and go straight to the council. West? Okay, well, I guess over this way? I mean, I can see the objective marker on the compass anyway, so I should be able to roughly have a good idea as to where to go.
Nice gardens.
And of course, you can always pause the action if you want. So for example, I can just pause straight away, and boom. And you can also unpause with spacebar.
So close to the embassies.
Look at the size of this council hall.
So, this is what they spend our taxes on.
Look, is that...
The princess! Wait, is she leaving?
Apparently so.
Then who will administer the oath?
There's an oath keeper for that, I think.
You thought it would be the princess?
Doesn't she lead the council?
No. In this chamber, she's just another delegate. Lady Keen, the council's oath keeper, is trusted by all.
Lord Karen,
Yes, milady.
are these your new deputies?
They are, milady.
My name is Lyra Keen, oath keeper of the council.
Quiet, everyone.
And I will be administering your vows. Once sworn in, you will carry the authority of the council wherever you go. Your every action will reflect upon the council's reputation. Remember that. Always. Now, please, raise your right hands. Do you, each and all, solemnly swear your lives and allegiance to this council, and promise to carry forth our mission to protect our alliance from any who would threaten the common good?
I swear.
Excellent. Lord Karen will enter your name into the council's register. Thank you for your service.
Congratulations, deputies.
Wait, that's it?
What were you expecting? A parade?
No, I don't know. It just feels a bit anticlimactic.
Sorry to disappoint. So, the mission. As I'm sure you know, the Council maintains a number of outposts to secure the border between the Principality and the Marches. One of them is the former Imperial Fortress, KLM. It's held by some 50 troops under the command of Captain Henrik. He sends us weekly status reports, or rather, he used to. We haven't heard a word from him in 3 weeks. Leave immediately for KLM and find out if anyone there is still alive. If Captain Henrik or anyone else is still breathing, bring him back. The Council wants a first-hand report.
Wait, these marches, they're not in the Badlands, are they?
The Marches are a no man's land between the civilized world and the Badlands. It's outside the chain of mountains that really define the Badlands. We wouldn't send you in there. Yet.
What can you tell us about this Captain Henrik?
A fine officer. More than 15 years in the Principality's army. He inspires trust, loyalty, and courage. Hence the decision to post him there, facing danger.
Right, I guess that's that. It's on to KLM.
Alright, so they're obviously now telling us, we've already seen the faction screen, but they're now telling us about faction relations. The better your relationship with a faction, the more they have to offer, and the lower their prices. However, these factions are in competition with each other, which means you can't please them all. Various subquests will give you opportunities to improve your relationship with one faction or another. And then you can press the map button to open the location map. When a waypoint has been found, you can use it to fast travel another place. For now, you can use fast travel to return to the Gravekeep's Cask, which is here. So as you can see, this is the overview, this is the map, and you can see exactly where we've been and where we've gone to. And in my opinion, this is super, super cool. The amount of depth that is available here, you can just literally fast travel anytime you want, and boom, we're right back there. And we can also, there we go. Look, you now have enough experience to level up. To do so, you must take a long rest, head back, and speak to Carol, the owner. He will tell you how to get a room while you're staying in town. Alright, and this is him.
Hello, adventurers. What can I offer you?
We'd like to stay for the night.
Sure. Just walk up to the suite and settle in.
A suite?
It's more like a large bedroom, really. But you know, this is the capital city.
And there we have it. Okay, so now we can level up. So there we go. Barney is now a level 2 rogue, and he has the ability, cunning action. You can take a bonus action on each of your turns in combat. This action can be used to only take a dash, disengage, or hide action. So there you go. That is good, I guess. You've gained 1 additional hit dice as well, which is actually pretty cool. And Byron is now a level 2 fighter. We gain 8 hit points extra, 1 additional hit die, regain a main action immediately, action surge. Take a short or long rest to recover this power, so it's a bit like a spell. And then we have Bruce being a level 2 sorcerer. You gain some spell slots, 1 spell to select, and so on. We can select another spell here, so what do we want to do? Well, I don't actually want to unlearn a spell, to be honest. So let's ignore this, and let's learn something else. So what else is actually going to be useful? Spray a cone of fire in front of you. That might be quite amusing. Magic Missile sounds fun, actually. So let's go for Magic Missile, why not? And then we can go with Iceni here. Yeah, look at that. Arcane Traditions grants you specializations with a certain kind of magic. Arcane Recovery once per day. When you complete a short rest, you can recover a number of expended spell slots. Max 5th level, up to half of your wizard level rounded up. And then you have Arcane Tradition here, so we can choose what we want to be. So you can be a Green Mage, a Lore Master, or a Shock Arcanist. I think a Shock Arcanist sounds the most fun, to be honest. And now we can select some more spells. Can we select some more spells? Wow, we can really select more spells, can we? That's crazy, actually. Let's do those 2. There we go. And we can prepare some spells as well. So if I want to, I can prepare... actually, we can prepare all of these. So there we go. They are all prepared and done. And there we have it. So buy some food for the journey. So that is exactly what we'll be doing next. But I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. If you would like to check out Solasta, which I highly recommend if you are into D&D at all, or CRPGs in general, or just good RPGs, you know, just RPGs, then you should definitely take a look through the link in the description. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.